if you did.
We have friends over at Marvel that sent us the original audition footage of you.
There's something universally uncomfortable about watching your old self on tape, even when it's the audition that started everything. These celebrities can definitely attest to that. With that, Megan Fox booked one of the biggest action roles of her career in Transformers, but during her audition, Michael Bay's priorities were, to say the least, a bit unusual.
The only thing Mike asked me when I was reading with him and auditioning, he just asked me if I could run. He's like, "Can you run?" I was like, "Well, yeah, I think so." And the other thing he asked me, he goes, "Do you have a nice stomach?" And I said, "Well, in my opinion, yes, I do." So I figured, all right, I'm going to be running, hopefully not naked, but I'll be running in a belly shirt.
Thousands of tapes and hundreds of actors in the running for Spider-Man, Tom Holland's impromptu backflip is what won him the part.
Go flip! Yeah!
And watching it back takes him right to that turning point.
Oh, okay.
So I just wait before we get started. Hey, come on, stop. Like, that's no starting.
What? No, I got it.
Oh, okay. So a constant stream of breath right to the truck.
Yeah, it's me.
No, I that guy.
Matthew McConaughey's acting career didn't begin after years of chasing Hollywood. It all started with one university audition tape.
Whose car is this?
You know Bobby?
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on you want.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did. There's Pickford, that stoner. I know he's got some game. That's what I love about high school girls, man. I keep getting older, but they stay the same age.
Man, that was 1992, 28 years ago. And you thought you might just have a little 3-day job for a summer hobby. And 28 years later, I still got a little summer job that turned into a career.
Christopher Nolan is notorious for keeping his films a secret, even from the actors. A little-known fact is that Cillian Murphy actually tried out for Batman before the Scarecrow role ever came his way.
You were in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight films, playing the Scarecrow. I did not realize you auditioned to play Batman.
Well, yes, amongst many other actors.
Yes.
Yeah. It was obvious that Christian Bale was going to be Batman. At that time, it was clear, and he's such a magnificent Batman and Bruce Wayne. But I did get to I think it was the Val Kilmer suit I tried on, which they had to adjust.
Let's take a quick look back at exactly what Cillian looked like wearing the Batman suit.
Who was with Falcone at the docks? Joe murdered my parents, and they deserve...
Don't pretend you wanted to do this for them.
But it's a weird thing. You put it on, you put the cowl on, and the voice drops. It drops a couple of octaves. So that's it. You can't do the Batman voice without doing the Batman.
That's why I couldn't do it, because I'd be like, I'm Batman. They'd be like, no, you're not. Get out of here.
Tom Hiddleston built his reputation as the Norse god of mischief, but it's not widely known that he auditioned for Thor first, and we have the tape.
You were telling me backstage that when you auditioned for Thor, you actually auditioned for Thor.
I did. Yes, I did. The remit was if you're over 6 foot and you've got blonde hair and you could come and have a pop at it. So I actually auditioned. I never auditioned for Loki. I only ever auditioned for Thor.
We have friends over at Marvel that sent us the original audition footage of you. This has never been shown.
And remember, you chose this for Outland!
I think we can all agree that they cast the right actor.
Anne Hathaway didn't realize what she was actually auditioning for until she walked into the casting room.
Is it true that the audition was quite a tense process for you getting that role?
No.
Because I read somewhere that you were thinking it would be Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah, that part. Yes. I had this lovely Vivienne Westwood kind of, beautiful but kind of mad tailoring top with like stripes going everywhere, and I wore these like flat kind of jokery looking shoes. And I was just kind of trying to give Chris like these crazy little smiles. And then about an hour into the meeting, he goes, well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but it's Catwoman. And I was like, shifting into a different gear right now.
Momoa found his angle for Game of Thrones by doing something that was very close to his home.
I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I saw the other day the video of your audition for Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
You did the hacker.
Yeah.
That's the coolest audition I've ever seen.
I was unsure if I was gonna do it. I asked my buddy and he's like, yeah, you gotta do it. But it was weird because it was just two little nice ladies recording, and I'm like, oh, do you mind if I try something first before we do the audition? And they're like, oh, please, be delighted. And then I just start getting into it, which is rather scary.
This Maori war chant, known as the haka, carries serious power, and seeing Jason deliver it in his audition tape explains exactly why he won the role.
How'd you feel about watching yourself, by the way? Oh my God, look at you! Oh.
Block on my head.
Why is your hair doing that?
Because that's what my head used to look like. I
Every day.
hated that.
Okay, well you're not supposed to like looking at yourself. But that was great.
That was the one that got me the part, I think.
Really?
Apparently, yeah.
But that's literally, that's Jamie.
Actors are always searching for a way to be memorable in auditions, and Jason...
You know, you're lucky to get an audition. Then you get it. You get there. You walk into a room full of guys that look just like you. You realize you're not the only one that wore the cowboy hat. Then before you go in, you hear the casting director negotiating the deal for the guy that already got the part.
Yeah.
Turns out Jared Leto already got it.
Yeah.
You know? Then you go in, you think you're doing you just think, I'll do it as an acting exercise. You go to your car, you got a parking ticket because the street cleaning sign has been covered by the auditions this way sign. Then you get in your car, you change, you muster up, the guts to go back to until you go to another one, and you wait in traffic for 2 hours and you go through it again.
Prior to his now famous and widely known roles, Lucas Gage was deep in the audition grind like every struggling actor, and one Zoom call made that struggle painfully public.
These poor people live in these tiny apartments. Like, I'm looking at his, background, and he's got his TV and.
Yeah, mute it. I know it's a shitty apartment. That's why give me this job so I can get a better one. All right.
Rather than letting it go, Lucas put it out there on social media and ensured the casting director's ego took a real hit. The public response was full of support and forced a direct apology from that same director. This is a clear sign of how harsh this business really is.
Maybe.
Before she became one of Hollywood's top earners, Scarlett Johansson auditioned for Jumanji at just 11 years old and didn't get the role, which went to Kirsten Dunst instead. That setback ended up opening plenty of other doors for her.
You auditioned for Jumanji. The role went to Kirsten Dunst.
That is true.
As a kid, did you go to see Jumanji after?
Yeah, I saw Jumanji. But I liked it. I liked Jumanji.
Yes, but do you sit there and go, mother, why didn't they take me?
No, I wasn't bitter enough at then.
Yeah, now you're
Now I'm bitter.
Before he was one of the most recognizable names in film, Leonardo DiCaprio was stuck in the audition grind just like every other hopeful actor.
Do you remember the audition when you first met De Niro?
I remember there was a mustard jar scene, and he had to jam a mustard jar in my eye repeatedly. It was an abuse scene. The script sort of didn't call for it, but I got up and he said, now, is it empty? Is it empty? And I got up and I screamed, no! Like completely unnecessary, but I screamed in his face, and I sat there, and everyone started laughing at me in the entire room. De Niro, everybody was in hysterics. And I sat there frozen thinking, oh my God, I just screwed this entire opportunity up. And then, Bob, in traditional De Niro fashion, kind of just looked at me and went, it's good, it's good, it's good.
Leo figured his audition days were finally over until James Cameron made it clear there are no exceptions, not even for him.
So Leo came in, of course, charmed everybody, myself included. He didn't know he was going to test. He came in, he thought it was another meeting to meet Kate. And I said, okay, so we'll just go in the next room. And he said, you mean I'm reading? And I said, yeah. He said, oh, I don't read. And I said, well, I shook his hand. I said, well, thanks for coming by. If I don't read, I don't get the part, just like that. And I said, oh, yeah, come on. I'm not going to f it up by making the wrong decision in casting. So you're going to read or you're not going to get the part. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, every ounce of his entire being is just so, negative. Right up until I said action, and then he turned into Jack. I'm like, all right, he's the guy.
Long before he became TV's biggest villain,
I'm better!
Anthony Starr auditioned for James Bond against A-list competition, including Henry Cavill and Sam Worthington, and his honest take on that footage shows just how harsh self-judgment can be, even when you're a Hollywood star.
It also recently emerged, and I don't know how you feel about this, but your audition for James Bond came out, Anthony.
Vodka martini, shaken not stirred. And for you?
The same. Thank you, Mr.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
I don't know how to feel about that coming out. It's very strange that they even let it out. It doesn't bother me, really. I mean, look, we all start somewhere, so it is what it is. But it is one of the worst readings of Bond, James Bond, you'll ever see. Stone-faced piece of wood, just Bond, James Bond.
Are you going to ignore all those advances that were spawned from military funding?
Wow. Wow, you really have all of this down. You ever lose an hour of sleep your whole life?
I gotta tell you, is that thing wrong? You're never gonna get me in the sack with that attitude. Crudité?
Looking back at that audition years later, Robert's take on how everything fell into place showed exactly how crucial that moment turned out to be.
One instant I had to psych myself into that there was nobody else on earth had a chance. I was too prepared. I was too confident.
Was it a great audition, in your opinion?
I think, yeah, obviously it went pretty well.
Explain this to me, because I'm not an actor and I don't understand. But would you go and study a confident tycoon and kind of take on his persona? Is that a way of getting to that character?
I was just thinking, this is me, and I am in this situation.
That's what you do.
I'd started to develop this absolute terror of auditions, which I'm sure a lot of actors have, and I'd kind of could be so enthusiastic about something, and then the day of the audition, just my confidence would just entirely collapse. The same thing happened the morning of the Twilight audition. I used to live on my agent's couch at the time in her apartment, and she sent me the email exchange. It was like, I'm freaking out, I don't want to go to the audition anymore. And then underneath it saying, well, find a Valium in my bathroom. I'd never taken a Valium before. I just remember just feeling so glorious in the back of the taxi with the window open and just being like, wow, this is what I've been missing.
Absolutely.
On the topic of auditions, I had no luck finding Denzel's early tapes, but this clip sums up perfectly how actors generally feel about auditioning.
You must be at that stage where it's like, you're not reading scripts and auditioning, right?
It's been about 40 years for that, love. About 40 years. Yeah, I haven't auditioned for a movie in...
40?
I don't know if it's 40 exactly. I won an Academy Award in 1989.
That's
How many
right.
years ago is that?
So that would be 35?
I'm sure that nobody asked me to audition after that.
That's crazy!
I may be wrong.
love that
I
for
may
you.
be wrong. I may be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, do you miss that?
Auditioning?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever wanted to learn the secrets of the Jedi? To give you an idea of what that might be like, I thought I'd go back to the very beginning, my original audition.
This begins interesting. Hans, maybe you should just drop us off. I'm sure we'll...
Did I call him Hans? Why did I call him Hans instead of Han? And by the way, all through the shoot, people were going, is it Han or Han? Is it Chewbacca or Chewbacca?
Fear is their greatest defense. Here, I doubt if the actual security there is much greater than on Aquilae or Sullus, and what there is most likely directed towards a large scale assault.
Who talks like this?
Hope you enjoyed this one. See you soon.